G'day guys, so today we're going to have a look at this RYOBI air compressor that I picked up off the side of the road the other day. I plugged it in, it does work, but it doesn't seem to get past 30 pounds. It'll build up to 30 pounds and then stop. So I'm just going to take the compressor head apart and see what's going on. First thing I noticed is this air filter is missing, so I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with it. For all I know, the filter is actually worn out, but I wouldn't mind a small compressor, so I thought it's worth having a look at. The tank on it does seem fairly thin, but I'm also comparing it to my only other compressor, which is this big petrol powered pilot unit, which is a very well built Australian made compressor. Righto, so I've got the camera mounted on the bench and I've gone ahead and taken 2 screws out of here and 2 out of the other side, so I believe this cover should sort of just come straight off, which it does, and that reveals sort of the inner workings of the compressor. Now, I'm going to spin this around so we get a better view of the actual compressor head, which is here. Now first up, in order to, I'm going to remove this cylinder head, and we'll have a look at how this thing works. So you probably can't see it, but there's the air line which comes out and comes down here, which is the pressure going into the tank. So I've got to take that fitting off. So just going to use this shifter and crack this line, which is fairly easy to do. It wasn't actually tight at all. Right, so now that's undone, and I've unplugged the line, which you can see here is undone. Looks like it just sort of had a little O-ring, little plastic O-ring to seal it. Right, next thing to do is remove the cylinder head, which has got these what look like probably 13mm bolts, and they do go the whole way through into the compressor block. Righto, so I've just got that cylinder head off, just got the camera handheld at the moment, and the first thing I notice is this dirt here, which appears to sort of be mud wasp nest. So that would definitely stop this little valve from sealing. I believe these just sort of use 2 check valves, but I've never had one apart, so I don't know. But there we can see the piston, which just moves up and down like so. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up, and I'll have a look at this cylinder head, try to figure out how this valve assembly works. Right, yeah, so obviously the air filter has been off that for a very long time. See all the dirt build-ups on that. More mud in that hole just there. But I'm going to take this all apart and clean it and put it back together, and hopefully it still works. Righto, so I've cleaned up the top of this cylinder head sort of as best I could without spending too much time on it. Especially cleaned out in there where that valve seals. Now this is the bottom of the cylinder head. Cylinder head goes on the compressor like that. And on this, there's this piece which is removable. And we can see there sort of what looks like almost a reed valve on a dirt bike, which I can see light under that. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not, but I'm going to take it off, clean it all. I might even flip the actual valve over and put it back in, and then obviously, like, you can see all the mud and whatnot from the dirt and dust it's been sucking in. So I'll clean all that out. That's just the aluminium part of the cylinder head. There's nothing much in there, but once again, I'll clean all the dirt. You can see all the dirt in there. We'll get all that cleaned out and reassemble it, see what happens. Right, so it's pretty bright outside, so I've just moved the compressor just into the front part of the shed here. You can see there it is. I've got it plugged in down there, and I'm going to turn it on for the first time since doing the repair on the head. So here goes nothing. I actually ended up stopping recording and just missed the blow-off valve down there, went off. It got up to 120 and the blow-off valve's gone off, and it's gone back down to about 90 pound. So something's not working in here. So I'm going to disconnect it from the mains power down there. Let me just zoom out. There we go. Disconnect from the mains power, and we'll pull this thing apart and find out what's going on. But lucky it had this little pressure relief valve on it, just to let off the excess pressure. Righto, so I took that cover off, and I really have no experience with electric compressors. I'm not sure how this works. That's that switch that's linked to the red button, and it's got this screw up here with a plus and a minus symbol, which seems to change the preload on this spring, which must be something to do with the blow-off valve. So I wound it out a little bit towards the negative, and what I think I'm going to do is I'll just run it with this cover off. I'm going to put it outside there and come in here with the extension cord so I can turn it off if need be, but we'll just let it run until something happens. I might even wind that off a couple more turns, and then we can just go up from there. Righto. There you go, it cut out by itself. That, I don't know how well you can see that, but that's about 100 psi, which is probably pretty good. Now I'm just going to use this and let the pressure out, and we'll see what time it cuts back in again. There you go. That's working. So next thing I'll do, I'll put all the covers back on it, and we'll just give it a test. Alright, so there you go. I've got all the shrouds and covers back on the compressor. Come over to the bench. I've got a selection of air tools and some stuff to play with. So we're just going to test out this compressor. Righto, so oops, got the camera in a stand there. I think the first thing I'm going to try out is going to be this nail gun. So, decent sized nail gun there. Hook it up and we'll fire away and see how it works. There you go. Runs the nail gun, no worries at all. Next up, little air drill. Seems to run that, no worries. And there you go, that all seems to work quite well. So I think that was quite successful, and I've scored myself quite a good little compressor there for free, without even a whole lot of work fixing it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.